All right, good morning, you guys. We're just gonna wait a couple minutes here to get everybody situated in. It's gonna be like class today, I'm sure. Just your 30-minute restorative yoga flow class. We're just gonna do some basic stretching today. I know I've been feeling it after the past week. We kind of all just need to clear our heads. Of course, I've been silent on my social media, just kind of taking in everything that's going on and really processing how important it is. There's a few initiatives we're coming up with. We're just working on them right now. There's a run initiative that we're coming up with, and then a HIIT class and a yoga class that will be all donation based, and everything will be going to the Black Lives Matter movement and a few affiliates within those movements. So please know that I know I'm back and I'm not muted, but I am very much thinking about this, and I want us to take this class to really focus and center in on what's important, what's going on in the world right now, and to really understand that it's not just today, but it's every day going forward, and that we can all be a part of this. So welcome to class. We're just gonna wait a minute. I'm sure all of you can hear me, but I always just say, shoot a high five out to me. For those of you who are just joining, I was just giving a little recap of the past week, so we've been silent here, but there's a few initiatives I have coming out. I'll be posting with those. One's a run initiative, and one is a HIIT class and yoga donation-based class with everything going to the Black Lives Movement and their affiliates within that. So stay posted for that. If you're just joining, you just need a mat today. It's just restorative, 30 minutes, and we'll get started in 30 seconds there. So if you want, get seated, get situated with your mat. Let's close those eyes and get centered, and I'll be with you guys in a couple seconds. All right, let's take it to the mat. Let's cross those legs. Let's bring hands heart center. Let's take a deep breath in here. Close those eyes and let's settle that heart rate there. So I know sometimes we wake up in the morning and with everything going on right now, we're so clouded. But let's try to start our day by clearing our head. With each deep breath, let's let go of those things that are really worrying us or causing stress, and let's just focus for the next 30 minutes on what you need for today. My ask is that you set 3 intentions. And usually my rule to follow is 1 for yourself, 1 for another person or individual in your life, and 1 for the world. Let's place those now. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring those hands up. Let's exhale, bring hands down, heart center. Take a few more breaths here. Deep breath in, bring hands up. Exhale, let's bring hands down. Let's just rest the hands next to our thumb here. And let's just rotate that neck from side to side. This is your first time doing restorative yoga. Here we're just trying to steady the heart rate and to find some center. It's primarily a stretching class, so it's really good to do if you've had a really good workout the day before, or if you just want to start your day off nice and calm. So nothing too strenuous today, and no equipment except for your mat. Let's bring that neck forward, and let's just put your hands behind your neck and apply a little bit of pressure just to push it down a little. Take a deep breath in here. Give me 2 more breaths. Next inhale, let's release the hands, bring the hands and head back up to center. Let's inhale, bring hands up. Let's drop that right hand, bend elbow. Let's reach over to your right side. Take a deep breath in here. On your next exhale, let's take a look up at that hand there. So depending on your mobility and flexibility, you might not have good reach here, but if you can bend that right elbow, it'll give you a little bit more lengthening on your left here. Take a deep breath in here. Let's try to reach a little bit further. Let's exhale, bring hands up. Let's drop hands. Let's inhale, sweep arms up. Let's exhale, drop the left hand, and let's bend that elbow, and let's reach over here to your left side. Right hand should be up in the air. Take a deep breath in here. On your exhale, let's take a glance up at your hand here. Take one more inhale here. Let's exhale and bend that left elbow a little bit further. Get a nice deep reach in here. Let's bring hands up. Let's exhale, swoop hands down, and we're gonna bring our hands up behind us, interlace the fingers, and you're gonna reach. We're gonna try to pull those elbows back and extralate here. So let's hold this here. Hands should be interlaced behind you. And try to pull those shoulders back. Take a deep breath in here. If you feel any tension or any pressure here, you can release the hands and just have them behind you hanging. But if you can interlace, I strongly encourage you to. It'll give you a nice stretch back here. Let's take an inhale here, and let's try to move or begin to lean forward here. And as you do that, your hands are gonna come up behind you, and that's okay. We wanna release that stress here and the pressure. Take a deep breath in, let's push a little bit further, and let's hold this here. Let's take a deep inhale here, and if you can bring the arms up a little bit further behind you, interlace still. Take one more inhale here, and let's push forward a little bit further. Take a deep inhale here. Let's come up slowly from there. Let's exhale, bring hands up. Let's release those shoulders and just settle down here for a bit so you don't have so much pressure here. So usually we're up here and our elbows come up and our shoulders are a little bit dismantled. Let's exhale and just drop it a little bit here. You're gonna feel it just underneath. Let's inhale, reach hands up. Exhale. Inhale, let's reach hands up. And we're gonna exhale and just drop the elbows a little bit so our shoulders are not so pressured. Let's do a couple more here. Inhale. Exhale, drop those shoulders. Inhale one more time, let's reach up. Exhale, let's drop hands. Great, let's come down into your child's pose. Let's push back here. Let's get a good stretch in those hips there. So again, in your child's pose, you can have your feet touching at the back, but if you have lower back problems or you feel it's too much pressure, you can always open up and push back into your hips there. Let's bring those hands out in front of us and let's extend as far as we can go. If we can't have hands straight out, you can always bend those elbows. Please always take your options of what your comfort level is. You don't want to strain anything. Take a deep breath in here. Spread those fingers out in front of you. Take a deep breath in, and I want you to push just a little bit further in that child's pose into your hip flexor here. Let's take a few more breaths here. Let's close those eyes and let's engage. Let's listen to your body. Take a deep breath and let's come up into tabletop. And so again, your tabletop positioning here, we want to make sure that our hands are nice shoulder width apart. We don't want to be straining anything here. So your hands and your legs here, just a nice comfortable neutral. Let's keep that back as neutral as possible. Okay, and we're going to go into your regular cat-cow pose. So I'm going to take a deep breath in here. We're going to pull the tummy in. On your exhales, you're going to take a look up here. We're going to curve that spine. So again, we're going to inhale, pull the tummy in. It's almost like your belly button comes in and pulls that back up into that curved spine there. Gonna exhale and we're going to push. Take a look up here. Let's do a couple of these. Inhale, let's pull that belly button in. Exhale. Inhale, pull that belly in. Exhale, let's push out. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, pull belly in. Exhale, let's do 2 more. Inhale, belly to spine. Exhale. Let's hold this for a couple counts here. And on your next inhale, let's come down to your child's pose position. So let's push those hips back into your child's pose. Bring your head down and walk your hands out in front of you. Take a few breaths here. Like I've said before, while you're in this child's pose, let's try to remember why we're doing this restorative flow today. So if you've set your intentions and you've had a stressful week, the past week has really got you thinking and your mind's been running like mine has, we just need this today to settle, to be centered and to find some peace. So we don't want to push our body. If you've been working out a lot, if you're extremely sore, if you have any injuries, we just want to tend to the body and listen to what it needs. Take a deep breath in here. Let's push back into that neutral child's pose position. And if you can, bring that head to your mat. On your inhale, I want you to take your right hand and in front of your mat, which you should be facing forward, let's just try to move it outside of that corner. So you're going to be on a little bit of a 45-degree angle. Right hand's going to come out in front of you. Outside of that mat, you'll be on the floor now, and bring that left hand over. So it'll be on a little bit of a diagonal, and we're going to push back again into that child's pose. You should feel this in your left hand side or right through your rib. Take a deep breath in here. Let's push back into that child's pose. We're going to hold this here for a couple breaths. Deep breath in. Let's walk hands back. We're going to push down into that downward facing dog here. So really push here because we only do a few of the flow just to kind of get the blood moving. You can pedal the feet out here before we move back down to your child's pose. So let's hold this downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Deep inhale here. Let's exhale. Inhalation here. Exhale. We're going to come up into that high plank. From your high plank, we're going to push down to baby cobra. Pull, let's stretch that back up. Let's take a good look up at the ceiling here, or outside, wherever you're doing this class. And let's push back into your child's pose. We're gonna do one more little flow there and then come back to your child's pose and move to the other side here. So from here, let's move into your downward facing dog. Let's hold this for 2 breaths. Deep inhale here. Give me one more breath. Let's rise up into that high plank. We're gonna come down here, baby cobra and push up. One more breath, inhale here. On your exhale, let's push back into your child's pose. Now we're gonna hold this here. You should notice as you get more warm, your flexibility in your hip flexor here for your child's pose should allow you to go a little bit deeper. So I encourage you to take those moments and push where you feel warm so you can get a better stretch in here. Again, if we're not comfortable with hands spread out, let's bend the elbows and try to get a good stretch in the back here as well. Spread those fingers and drop the head if you can. Deep breath here. Let's inhale, let's walk the left hand out now outside of your mat, and we're gonna overlap the right over left on a little bit of a 45-degree angle from that mat here. Sit back again to that child's pose. Deep inhale here. Give me a few more breaths here. We're going to inhale, walk the hands up to center here, and we're going to push down into your downward facing dog. Pedal those feet out if you need the movement here. Come up into your high plank here. Just drop down. Position shoulders back to your baby cobra. And we're going to come back into a downward facing dog. Bring the right leg up. We're going to bend and bring this forward. So your right leg should be bent with your knee in front of you. Left leg is straight behind you. Just so you can guys get a better picture. We're out in this position here. Okay, so that right leg is just bent. And we're gonna lean forward here. Right leg is in front of you, bent. That left leg is straight behind you. Hands are up in front of you here. Now, if you can, I encourage you to come down as far as you can on your hands, whether that's stopping at your elbows or coming out straight. Drop that head if you can. And we're just gonna try to feel the stretch into here. Take a few breaths here. Deep inhale here. Let's inhale, we're gonna walk the hands up towards our body here, so our hands are gonna be in front of us. We're gonna bring that back left leg and we're gonna bend it to come up. Okay, let's point that foot here, or you can keep it flexed, whatever is easiest. Now, if you can, depending on your flexibility and range, I encourage you to bring right hand around and let's reach for that left leg. If you can't, you're gonna just stay in bent position with hands in front of you here. Let's take a few breaths here. You're looking over that shoulder if you're holding on to the left foot with your right hand, and we're just grabbing right in between here. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Let's exhale here. If you're holding your foot, let's release to the front. Just drop that left leg. We're gonna push down to your downward facing dog. So to kind of unravel from here, you're just gonna push back. We're gonna shimmy and you're gonna place that right foot back behind you to downward facing dog. Let's push in your back here and your legs. If you can, come up to those tippy toes and just give it a little bit of a stretch. Just a little push and pull here so we can get those calves activated. On your next inhale, let's come up to plank, high plank here. Let's push down into your baby cobra. Take a deep breath in here. Let's exhale. Let's push down into your downward facing dog. Bring that left leg up now. Bend that knee, let's bring them forward. And we're gonna bend and bring that right leg behind you. Hands are gonna be flexed out in front of you here. Let's take a look up here. Take a deep breath in here. And if you can, let's walk those hands forward. Again, you're gonna come down to your elbows, or we're gonna keep hands straight out. So if you have shoulder injuries or anything that's persisting here, stay at your elbows. I know I stay here just 'cause it's a lot of pressure. But if you can come all the way out, let's flex and bring hands out here. Drop that head, take a deep breath in here. Inhale here. On your next inhale, let's walk those hands towards that left leg that's now bent in front of you here. Let's bring the right leg up behind us. You can either flex or keep that foot pointed. We're gonna steady and balance here. So for those of us that can, let's bring that left hand around and let's reach. You're gonna look over your left shoulder. If not, you can keep your hands in front of you here and steady balance. Take a few breaths here. One more breath in. Let's exhale to drop the right leg. Let's walk hands forward just so we can get a little bit more of a stretch here. You should be a little bit more warm in that hip flexor here. So let's try to release a little bit more and push back. On your next inhale, we're going to unravel this left leg here. We're going to push it back down into your downward facing dog. Let's leave a little bit of a bend in those legs here. We don't want to hyper extend here. Again, let's fan those feet out. And if you can, let's come and just do a few stretches up to your tippy toes and let's release down. Take a deep breath in here, up to the tippy toes and release down. Let's do one more. On your next inhale, let's come up to high plank. From your high plank, we're gonna drop down here, release to your knees. If you can or need to, let's pull up into your cobra, take a good look up. And let's exhale back down into the child's pose here. So again, you should be extremely warm here now than when class first started. So really take advantage of that. And let's push deep into that stretch here. Deep breath in here. Let's inhale to walk that hand towards us. And we're going to move to your back sequence here before we come into your meditation. So let's just swing our hands forward. We're going to take a nice little lie back here. Hands will be stretched out behind us. Feet are stretched out below us here. Let's take a good reach up and really stretch out that torso here. If we can, let's flex and let's point those toes. And try to keep that back nice and centered and flat to your mat here. Let's inhale, bring right knee up to our chest here, and you're gonna either reach for your shin or your knee or your calf, wherever your flexibility is, and we're gonna pull that knee towards us here. With each inhale, let's try to bring that knee a little bit closer to us. Head is still flat to ground. Take an inhale and transfer that knee over to the left. And when you push over, your bum's going to come a little bit off the ground here, and that's fine. Let's bring that right hand out behind us here. We're going to take a look at the right hand. Left hand is on your right knee here. Take a few breaths here. Let's inhale, bring that right knee over to your right hand, and we're just going to open up here. So again, let's try to keep your hips centered and squared off to your mat. Just your right knee that's going to come out, that's open here. You can apply some pressure with your right hand just to open up a little bit further. But again, depending on your flexibility, let's just keep your knee. If it has to stay up here, that's fine. But let's just try to make sure that our hips stay grounded here. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, bring that knee back up to your chest, and let's pull in. Exhale, let's pull that right leg back to the ground. Inhale, let's bring that left leg up into your chest. Again, we're going to grab at the knee, shin, or calf. Take a deep breath in. Let's really push that leg into our chest here. Take one more inhale here, and let's really try to pull. Exhale. Your next inhale, let's bring that left knee over to your right arm. Again, your left bum cheek is going to come off the mat here as you rotate towards the right side. Let's take a glance over at your left arm, which should be stretched out behind you here. So those hands are nice and flexed. Take a deep breath in here. Take one more inhalation here. And on your exhale, let's bring that knee back to center. And we're going to transfer over to the left hand. So that right hand now comes out beside you. Your left knee is in your left hand. And again, we're going to apply some pressure just to open up the hip flexor here, still keeping our hips nice and centered to your mat. So if you're toppling over towards your left side, let's reduce the bend and flexibility in that left knee. And make sure that our hips stay nice and centered. Take a deep breath in here. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, let's bring that knee back to center. Pull it in one more time. Exhale, let's drop legs down. Inhale, let's bring both knees in. We're going to bring your head up this time as well. You can point and flex those toes. This is going to round us off before we go into your Shavasana. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, let's release hands and arms. So at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to move into your Shavasana as we come to the end of our restorative flow. I like to take the 28 minutes to do our practice and the last 2 minutes just to make sure that we recenter for the day, as most of you will be starting with me before you go off for your day. So you can either do a seated or laying down Shavasana. I ask if you're laying down to place your hands at heart center and one on your belly. I'm going to come up to do seated, and for that I'm just going to place hands at heart center. Take a deep breath, let's close those eyes and let's steady our heart here. At the beginning of class, I asked you guys to set your intentions for the day. Let's think of what those were for today. Take a deep breath in here. each inhalation, let's just steady the heart and slow it down. Let's close those eyes. Deep breath in here. I ask if you're lying down to start making your way up to seated position so we can end practice all together. Once you reach seated position, for those of you who are laying down, bring hands to heart center. Let's close those eyes. Let's take a deep breath in. Reach hands up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Deep inhale up again. Hands up. Let's reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's open those eyes. Let's give thanks. I thank all of you guys for showing up today. Every Tuesday and Thursday we are here. I know with everything going on, it's so important that you take some time for yourself to reflect and to really enjoy the moments that you have. This was 30-minute restorative flow. On Thursdays we do a 45-minute full flow class. It's a little bit more high pace. And definitely something you guys can look forward to. So I will be live going forward Tuesdays at 7:45 a.m. and Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Namaste. I wish you guys the greatest. Have a good day. This will be saved. So if you want to replay, you're welcome to. Take care, guys.